Hello and welcome to the Kristin Carrera podcast. I am your host, Kristin. Welcome back if you've been following along. And if you are new, please make sure to hit that subscribe button, follow along, like this page, comment. I'd love to hear where you are on your health journey. How far are you in? Are you new? If you have any questions, leave them in the comments. Today, I am deviating from our typical carnivore talk because I want to talk about something that still is part of your health journey, and that is working out. Do you work out while on the carnivore diet? If you're new to carnivore, are you starting to work out? Did you work out prior? And or are you looking to find a new workout routine to incorporate into your daily life in creating those new habits? I think that it's so important to create movement in your life because as we get older, we start to lose a lot of our muscle mass. And it is important not only to fuel our bodies with nutrition, but also move our bodies. And I will tell you that I have been consistently working out home workouts. You can see my mat back there. This is not only where I do my job, it's where I film my podcast, where I work out, where the kids play to watch TV. And so this is like my multi room that is like an all in one. And so I started, let's give you a little background. I started home workouts because after having my second baby, my body really changed. I gained a lot of weight with him. I stretched. So I had a little bit of where my skin was a little bit wrinkly. I did not have that beautiful pregnancy glow with my second baby. My hair was dry. After having him, I was losing a lot of hair. I had more depression and more anxiety after having him than I did with my first. It's like after every baby, it just got worse. And I needed something to change. I could no longer just keep continuing to live in this hole of a depression and anxiety, in this feeling of that I was in almost like somebody else's body. So, a little backstory from that, I have never been the type of person, you are not going to come here and find this miraculous lost 100 pounds story. My story is a little different. It's not one that most people look for, I believe. I think that a lot of people get traction and they love to see those I lost 100-pound stories. And for me, it was the opposite. Growing up, I was always really underweight. I struggled with gaining weight. My doctors actually put me on medication to open up my appetite to see if I would gain more weight. And all it did was make me eat more, but I didn't gain not 1 pound. After that, my mom was like, she literally told the doctor, this is not working. This is just how she is. This is her metabolism. And she's eating me out of house and home and she didn't gain a pound. So we're taking her off. This is medication. So I grew up just always being really, really thin. And it was to the point that people would call me flaca. In high school, they called me flamingo. That was kind of like my nickname. I didn't really take it personal or in a bad way. It was kind of like a funny haha little nickname. But I did struggle with gaining weight. I struggled with insecurities. I struggled with believing that something was wrong with me because I got made fun of. And when I was in elementary school, I had one girl, I remember, she was a little bit heavier and she would ask me almost every single day, why are you so skinny? Is something wrong with you? And so I started to get complejo. I started to feel like maybe there is something wrong with me because before that, I didn't even notice that I was that skinny. I never noticed that I was petite. And it's crazy what one child can say to you as a child that can really trigger those insecurities. And I worry about that with my own kids because I know that it started to affect me back when I was in elementary school. Fast forward middle school, I was very, very insecure. I was very shy. I kind of kept to myself. I had a very small group of friends. And I did have a few incidents where one boy on the school bus would kind of make fun of me and tell me, I remember I was eating a blow pop, one of those lollipops. I know, not healthy, right? But that was my life. And so I remember him, I could picture being on the bus, and he just came up to me and went behind me and wanted to get that laugh factor from other friends, I guess, and kind of said, "Oh, let me guess, this is what you eat for breakfast, lunch, and dinner." Kind of like a little jab as to why I was so skinny. And then another time, he said something else, and my brother found out. Funny story. And him and his friends kind of stopped him at the bus stop and pretty much back then threatened him to not bother me anymore. And so he literally did not bother me the rest of the year. So thank you to my brother and his friends, and none of this new uh woke kind of life where we can't defend ourselves or defend our siblings because everything gets recorded. So thankfully there was no cameras back then. Who knows what they did? I was not there. But that was the story that I was told. So I was also called anorexic. I was called just, you know, mean names. And so that got to me. Now, moving over to high school, my ninth grade year, I was definitely still very insecure. I was a late bloomer. And so I was also still kind of developing. And it wasn't until my 11th grade year that my grandmother passed away that it was almost like this click in my head where I said, I'm not going to care what anybody thinks anymore, because what they think is not who I am. What they think is not going to determine who I will become. And what they think is not going to stop me from continuing to be who I am and who I want to be. And so from that day forward, I stopped worrying about not wearing shorts or skirts, which I didn't do for a very long time because I thought my legs were too skinny. And I just started blooming a little bit more into who I was. I just decided not to care anymore. And that was like this weight had lifted off my shoulder, because it was very hard for so many years feeling like I wasn't good enough, that maybe God made me wrong, right? I get emotional still talking about it. I guess it still affects me a little bit because I really thought that something was wrong with me. And so after I had my second baby, I kind of was getting all of these feelings again. Like, why did my body have to change so much? I was finally happy with my body, right? Um, why am I always sad? Why am I always anxious? And I needed something to change. I'm sorry. I am so emotional. If you want to know, it is that time of month. So I'm extra emotional probably. Um, anyways, so I needed that change, right? I really needed something to change. And I met up with a mom at one of the story times with Lucas, with my oldest and my middle child. And we decided, she told me that she was a Beachbody coach. And so I started to look into Beachbody. I had heard about it before, but I never really wanted to start to get into home workouts because I had gone to the gym, I had done classes, I always quit. But I needed something in my life. I needed something to wake me up, to change. And so after talking with her, I decided to join, not only start my home workouts, but change my nutrition and also become a coach. So that was a life altering moment because that is what kept me going for the next couple years. Um, and with my third baby, I worked out my entire pregnancy. It was probably the best pregnancy that I had been through. And I did get a little bit of anxiety sometimes when I was pregnant with my third, but not nearly as much. And I really do believe that it was partly to my routine of meditation, and working out really, really helped me. So, home workouts are just a really, really convenient and great thing for people for, especially in my story, that I have back pain and certain chronic conditions, because I'm able to figure out what kind of workouts I can do. I can moderate them. I can um, heal while still being active. And so that is one of my greatest things about having home workouts. Also, if you are a new mama and you just don't have time to go to the gym, or you don't want to really step out at the time, home workouts are also a big, huge benefit. For me, it is still my huge benefit, because I can wake up early in the morning, or while my son does homework here, I can go back there and get my workout in. And I don't need to leave the house. I don't need to pay for a babysitter or pay for the um, babysitting at the gym. So that for me is super convenient, and I absolutely love it. Benefits of working out at home. One, you can work out anytime. Like I said, like I have a group chat with some of my girls that I still coach, even though now, backstory, that Beachbody has turned into an affiliate program. I am still going to be coaching my girls, because I truly believe in that accountability and helping others. And I love the community that we've built. So we hop on Zoom sometimes and we'll message each other like, I didn't get to work out early this morning. I'm hopping on now. Does anybody want to hop on with me? And a lot of times people will get together. So having that accountability also is a huge, huge plus. You don't have to worry about being stuck in that gym membership, and you don't really need all these special equipments. I mean, as you can see, I do have a bench back there that I can pull out on some of the workouts that have a bench. But for the most part, I have a few weights. I have my medicine ball. I have my yoga stuff. I have very minimal things that I can use and still get a great workout while being at home. Also, less risk of injury. Working out at home lets you control the movements and the intensity, in which is great if you're dealing with pain or injuries. Now, here's tips for starting out. Keep it simple. Keep it simple. Like, start with the basic body weight exercises, squats. We have programs in the ones that we do. If you're interested, go over to my Instagram, DM me, and I'll give you more information. But we have like workouts for beginners to advanced. So there is a place for you to start depending where you are on your workout journey. Always listen to your body. Always. If something feels wrong, stop and modify. I always tell my girls, don't over push it. Like, I know that you want to do what the trainer's doing, but she or he is just there to show you what you need to do. It doesn't mean that you need to do that exactly that way. And what I love about our programs too is that there is always somebody there moderating and showing you those steps as well, so that you can do those. A lot of times I need to modify because of my low back and my neck pain. So I still get a great workout in. And set small goals. Even small steps are progress, right? Focus on consistency, not perfection. Just like with your nutrition, I talked to you about this. It's all about the journey and not about the perfection. So start slow. Remember, consistency is key, and home workouts are a great way to stay active. And that is pretty much how I started on my journey with home workouts. I probably might be missing something in between. I got a little distracted with my kids coming in, but I hope that you enjoyed this video. I know that it's a little bit different from our normal carnivore talk, but I think that it's important to talk about exercise and workouts and things like that. So if you are interested in hearing any other things, any other videos on this subject, or you have any questions, leave them in the comments, and I will see you on the next podcast.